You decided, and the nation was watching Wisconsin.
It sure was, and the numbers are in, and now we're breaking down what happened and what's next. Our Christina Van Zels is standing by with what's behind the ballot shortage from yesterday.
But first, political reporter Jason Calvi here with the breakdown of the big state Supreme Court race. Jason.
Kim, the Wisconsin Supreme Court will stay in liberal hands for at least 3 more years. And today, Democrats are celebrating. Republicans are soul-searching. Tonight, we dig into the numbers to find out how Crawford won and Schimmel lost. In Wisconsin history, conservative Brad Schimmel won the second most votes ever for a Wisconsin Supreme Court candidate. But it wasn't enough. As liberal Susan Crawford wins first ever, she also won by 10 percentage points.
This was a thumping. In 72 counties, Susan Crawford got a higher percentage of the vote than Kamala Harris did in November. And so I think what that tells us is Elon Musk's millions cannot save Republicans from how unpopular the Trump agenda is.
I don't really see this as necessarily a referendum on Trump. I think this really came down to the involvement of these outside groups and Elon Musk. And again, the same can be said for the left. The race's $100 million shattered the national record for a court race. Elon Musk and 2 Musk-linked groups invested more than $20 million in support of Schimmel. Democratic billionaires George Soros and J.B. Pritzker helped Crawford.
I hope that Elon Musk stays extremely involved in Republican politics.
Crawford won in places across the state. Like Kenosha County, it sided with the winner of the last 4 Supreme Court races. Racine County voted for conservative candidates in recent elections, but flipped to Crawford. And Democratic strongholds like Milwaukee saw explosive growth in turnout. 70,000 more people voted in the county compared with 2023. In Waukesha County, Schimmel's home, voter turnout was also up, but he won 58%. That's 10 percentage points less than conservative Brian Hagedorn when he won the state in 2019.
I think there needs to be a reevaluation of this playbook that we, the conservative kind of movement in the state, have been using.
In 2025 also set a Wisconsin record for Supreme Court turnout. Roughly 52% of Wisconsinites of voting age cast ballots. That's about 12 points higher than the last record in 2023.
So the question is, what is the change in the playbook? In earlier elections, we've heard about early voting, and that seemed to be the focus. So that wasn't talked about at all. So what are they saying?
Yeah, well, one thing is with the Supreme Court races, what we heard from the conservative analyst there was that he thinks that they focus too much on the crime issues. Like he said, both campaigns were going back and forth with this one's extreme, that one's extreme, that one has light sentencing, this one has light sentencing. He says, kind of goes over people's heads. He said, conservatives need to start focusing on the issues, like talking about Act 10, talking about photo ID. People approved the photo ID constitutional amendment, 62% of the state approved it. That was something that conservatives backed originally in the legislature.
Did the 2 people you talked to today, did they give credit for Brad Schimmel for last night saying, you got to accept the results?
Yeah.
As soon as when his supporters started saying no and cheaters, and he said, you got to respect the results.
Got to respect the results. Joe Zebecki, the Democrat that we heard from there, he definitely said, we haven't seen that from every Republican candidate, even in Wisconsin, where Eric Hovde, remember, we've seen where Republicans sometimes don't concede, and we saw him concede last night, Brad Schimmel, and that was something Joe Zebecki, the Democratic analyst, really respected last night.
All right, I know both parties are going to be looking at those numbers to either replicate or make some changes. Thank you.
Thank you.